Which GMs are on the hot seat? We're going to break that down and a whole lot more today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins. And we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins.
You know how impressive it is? You're shouting out those who never miss an episode. You and I have missed episodes.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anybody out there that's missed less episodes than we have?
Yes. I do.
Probably few, right?
Yeah. It's just unbelievable to think about.
Have a better attendance record on our own show than the hosts of the show?
Yeah, well, yeah, which we are supremely grateful for that. So
absolutely. You got the mailbag.
I've got it.
You're the take master today.
The take master is here. We've got some good football stuff. Couple of non-football. Yeah, we got a couple of food. We got some movie stuff. We've got it's good. It's good. Shall we?
Yeah, let's do the thing. Let's do the thing where we do all the takes.
Daniel says this: NFL teams should stop wasting money on huge scouting departments. Drafting the best player on the consensus media board is working for the Ravens and Eagles, so everyone should do that.
I think there's a human element of this, right?
100%, yes.
Now, as far as the merits of the consensus board, I think you put enough minds together, and I think there is certainly value in having that collaborated. And I don't know, there's a lot of background stuff with players. As far as the evaluation of the X's and O's, though, I think like if you can make it that simple, then more often than not, it can be that simple. But it's not as simple as that for a lot of these guys.
I just like having as much information as possible.
Right.
You know, especially when you're talking about the human element, which is not captured by a consensus media board. And I think there's so much more to it than evaluating a skill set. I think anybody can evaluate a skill set. You should be able to. Where the nuance comes in is applying that skill set to your team, applying the personality and makeup of the human to your locker room, those things that are not going to be captured by, with all due respect to people like me and you, stacking the board based on the film and information that we have.
Which is, what the funny thing about that is, we're going to talk about something Eric DeCosta talked about one time. He talked about the first season he was the GM in Baltimore, and it wasn't a draft pick, but it was, we lost a bunch of players. I panicked. I signed, was it Earl Thomas?
Yeah, Earl Thomas.
And I didn't vet Earl Thomas, the player. And he was fine as a player, but he did not fit at all what we were trying to do. And Earl Thomas made it one season. He was out of here.
It was dicey. Yeah, that whole thing was dicey.
So I think the more information that you can collect, the better. And it's how do you apply that information?
Yeah. Von Tell coming in here. I almost didn't use this one because it was a question. But then he gave a take.
No take here.
So here's a warning to those of you that ask us questions. No, it's not. We're not. This is takes on takes. Yeah.
Not doing questions on questions. Answers on questions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the name of this. Okay. Von Tell says this: we always talk about head coaches and quarterbacks being on the hot seat, but what are some GMs that you guys believe are on the hot seat this season? Von Tell gives his top three: Terry Fontenot, that's the Falcons; Chris Greer with the Dolphins; Chris Ballard with the Colts. You have another name that pops for you? I think those are good names to invoke.
There's
one that's shined big time for me.
AFC or NFC?
NFC.
NFC. Joe Shane.
You know what? I didn't even think of Joe Shane. Joe Shane should be added to the list.
Yeah.
Even though it feels like he's had a couple of good off seasons, we'll see what type of leash that gives him. Let's see what type of
Ryan Poles.
Ryan Poles was the name I thought. This guy's been around since like 2022, man. He's been around a minute. He's had cracks at quarterbacks. He's had opportunities, So if this year, if they win 6 or 7 games, is
Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson's gonna say, "Give me the keys to the car," right?
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, I think Ryan Poles is in that same conversation as those other guys, and I think Joe Shane's a good call out as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other names of teams that.
Well, Duke Tobin and Jerry Jones are not going anywhere. Mickey Loomis is not going anywhere. So you have to we got to weed through those types of guys first, too.
How far does it go with Mickey Loomis before Mickey Loomis gets on the list?
It doesn't. He's number 2 in the organization. The owner passed away. The wife is the controlling person.
Mickey was there before the wife.
Yeah,
before Gail Benson.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Mickey was there first.
Mickey might as well be the owner of the team.
All right, so I think we got the right names.
What about Elliott Wolf? Just low key relationships. I think Mike Vrabel, the ship sank in Tennessee with the Robinson relationship and the Carthon relationship, and I can already see the personnel decisions that Elliott Wolf made last year and how they might not mesh with this iteration of the team. I think the Patriots would be good, but I could see that being Mike Vrabel going to Robert Kraft saying, "You know what? I'd like to have someone else to work with."
Well, I'd like to do it, right?
Sure.
He has to sit there in the draft room and watch them trade AJ Brown away, right?
He'll never. He still loses sleep over it.
You don't think there's some scar tissue there that Mike just wants to say, Rob, you're comfortable with, or Bobby, you're comfortable with giving the head coach personnel decision-making power? We need to do it again.
Yeah. All right, Bub says this. Movie series should never make a 4th movie. Anything past 3 is normally watered down garbage and cash grabs. Looking at you, Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, and Fast and Furious. I think there's about 20 or 30 Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I lost count a while ago. Yeah. I don't know. Toy Story 4 is pretty good.
The kids' movies tend to age well. I thought the Shrek series was terrific as well.
And then I saw her face.
Yeah.
I actually thought Shrek 3 was my favorite one of the Shreks. I didn't, and then they're making another one now.
Oh, really? Some things never die. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. In Bub's defense, he mentions Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, and Fast and Furious. It's probably a lot easier to with the cartoons. I'm excited for Zootopia too. Have you seen the highlights for this?
I've not seen the trailer, but yeah, I know it's coming. And
you like the first one? Now it's a banger, right?
It was a good movie.
I liked it. Yeah.
Just do it right. Right?
They rarely do.
Do you count the Avengers movie? And I know I'm speaking a foreign language to you right now, but it's Avengers Endgame. That's technically the 4th Avengers movie, and I thought it was outstanding.
People love those, man.
So hard to say. I let people like things first, but I don't think this is a broad brush statement that you can make with the highest degree of confidence that Bub did.
I do think that there is some merit to they do typically start to disappoint where you're just like, this just needs to be done. That happens a lot. It happens a lot. There are exceptions though. All right. I wanted to sneak in this James Cook take, but we'll hold on to that for the other side of it, in addition to an interesting take about Super Bowl locations. We'll do that and more. Folks, be sure to stick with us. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. And FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. And look, if you're watching these playoffs, I'm not going to lie to you. I've gotten into these NBA playoffs, and it's really because of the prop bets. In fact, we saw game 2 of the Thunder and Timberwolves last night. And I had a little parlay going on SGA, who just named an NBA MVP, and Anthony Edwards, who's my new favorite player in the NBA. I had them both on the over for their point totals. That hit, and it made it fun to watch. And we collected our earnings very quickly afterwards. So make these playoffs even more exciting. Get in on the prop bets. There's live bets that you can do as well. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. You can head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. You watching these playoffs at all?
I'm watching the hockey playoffs.
Oh, you are. You're into the Panthers?
Yeah. Vamos Gatos.
Brother, let me tell you, I went 3 nights in a row with a Sam Reinhart bet on him to score a goal.
You made up pretty well for yourself, huh?
No, the 3 games that I picked him to score a goal, he didn't do it. So I'm very upset with Mr. Sam Reinhart. Maybe he scored a bunch last night, but
he's hurt.
Oh, is
he just got hurt in the game last night. He left the game with a dirty hit.
Oh man. Well, I'll go out and say it. I just anything but the Knicks. That's where I'm at.
How about that choke job and then Halliburton with the choke sign after?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You better hope the Pacers don't win the win the title, or that thing's going on posters all over the world.
Thunder's the best team. The Thunder's the best team in the NBA.
Well, they did the load up, right?
I don't know how they got there, but this SGA dude is unbelievable. He's unbelievable. They're the best team. They're the way they play defense, the way they transition, they play it the right way. I'd be stunned if the Thunder don't win it. All right, here we go. This James Cook take from Anthony. James Cook should not be penalized in contract negotiations because the Bills underused him last season. Cook still rushed for over 1,000 yards, because he had to play against the Patriots in Week 18 with 16 rushing touchdowns despite playing less than 50% of the snaps. Cook has been durable and dependable. I'd like to go first here. Why did the Bills underuse him? Why? Let's start there, Mr. Anthony. Anthony's a buddy of mine. I can say that. Because he's got a limited skill set. He can't pass block. Why is he not on the field in 2-minute situations? Why is he not on the field in end-of-half situations? Because he can't pass block. He's a liability. He can't play more snaps. The reason the Bills, nobody's talking about the reason why the Bills lost the AFC Championship game is because Josh Allen had a streaking Curtis Samuel on a runaway route from a linebacker, but James Cook on that drive couldn't step up and hit the backer, and Josh couldn't set his feet and couldn't get the throw off. Why was he underused? Because he's a liability in certain areas. He's 5'11", 195. He has a narrow build. He's not going to play 80% of the snaps that warrants a $15 million a year price tag.
Hey, Dolphins did it with Devon Achane. Why can't you?
What is it? Does Achane play 80% of snaps?
He played a lot of snaps last year and was a total liability in pass protection.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Joy, oh joy. And at least Achane plays like he actually flex him out a little bit too.
It feels like James has like a wonky drop every game I watch too.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite
stretch of like 8 games where like he dropped a touchdown and like 8 straight.
Legitimately. That was in 2024 or 3. Yeah, so that got better in 2024, but he did drop when it was early in the season, maybe against like Tennessee or something like that, where it's like
hit another one and you're like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't nearly the problem it was the year before. But he hasn't become like he was drafted to be a pass catching back. It's not really been what he does at all. Well, because you can't play on passing downs because they can't keep you in the pass block.
Tell us how you really feel, Joe Marino.
Well, it's just this conversation is.
Would you rather talk about the tush push or James Cook getting?
Nah, I'd rather talk about James Cook because I have a lot of convictions on that.
As compared to the tush push, is just go away, right? Let's stop talking about it.
I'm done with it.
Either pass or fail. Let's just move on.
Did you have anything to add on James Cook, or did I?
No, I think you sufficiently said everything that needs to be said.
Underused, penalized for being underused. Well, why is he underused? All right. Well, there's your answer. And the fact that 50-20-25 split that they have going is so beneficial to Cook and the Bills offense. Those backs were healthy and fresh at the end of the season last year. Cook was awesome against Denver. He was awesome against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. The year before, where he had like 60 more touches, really disappeared down the stretch. So, there's a reason for this. Alex This is a spicy, futuristic take. Alex says Ryan Williams. That's the Alabama wide receiver.
He's a stud.
I hear that.
Confirm he's a stud.
Will outproduce Jeremiah Smith. That's the Ohio State receiver, number 4, right? In the NFL. Is it a little early for these types of conversations? These guys are both good, right?
Yeah, they're both monsters. I could see that being like Jamar Chase / Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle type conversation.
Ryan Williams is 6 foot 175. Listed.
Yeah, the Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle is like not the bigger player versus Jeremiah Smith's like the freak size. It's still very explosive type talent. I think you could serve either one of them based off of their early resumes as like the featured player in your passing offense. I just think you can probably do. Smith is a more rare physical talent. Now, some of this production will be situation specific and injury dependent, but I think you can do more with Smith because of just the physicality that he boasts and how rare that is.
They're both true freshmen this past year?
Yes.
So this is a 2027 thing?
Yeah. You got to wait a bit.
They're both impressive. Weekly Huddle says this: a number 1 receiver is determined by how confident a team is that the player is a volume target in their passing offense. It is not dictated by alignment, route running, separation, or any metric. Yes, this means a tight end, slot only, or any other type of pass catcher can be a number 1. Obviously, right? Like Trey McBride's a number 1 in Arizona. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a number 1 in Detroit. And those are not – there's a slot only basically in a tight end.
Yeah, I think if you are looking at the number 1 option and say it has to be like an X receiver, I think that's a little bit antiquated versus the way the game's played right now.
Used to be that way, right?
Yes. Yeah, if you didn't have an X, you were in trouble.
Yeah, had to have it. Had to have it. August says this. August gave several takes, and this is the one I chose. Chicken pot pie is the best pie.
No, this is awful take. This is
I tend to agree, especially if we're going to get like aggressive with like our definition of pie. Like pizza's better than chicken pot pie if we're not going with like a peach pie.
Pizza pie.
Right, it's pizza pie.
The Pizza Hut dessert pizzas are better than pot pie.
Yeah, I thought you'd be a big chicken pot pie guy. That seems like it's up your alley.
I like chicken pot pie, but you could very easily mess it up if there's too much of the gravy or the sauce in it.
Yeah.
You got to have big chunks of chicken. Don't give me like the cubed chicken. There's a lot of ways that I think that gets off the rails if you don't do it right.
And I also have to add rice to a chicken pot pie. Like I think
you put rice in a pot pie?
No, I have it on the side. I like to like.
Why? You have the crust. The crust is the best part.
Sometimes it can be too runny, man, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
That's where you have too much gravy. It needs to have more filling and not be a soup. I don't need soup in a pie crust.
Yeah, sometimes that's why. You get into.
You know who has good like hearty, like chunky pot pies is Costco.
Man, Costco. I feel like every time I talk to somebody, they're like, you know what? Costco has this. Costco has that.
We're Costco guys.
I know you. Every time I'm with you, we go to Costco, and I'm like, man, this place is awesome.
That was a AJ and Rizzler reference. The Costco guys. We're Costco guys. Of course, we get the double chunk chocolate cookie, right? You know who I'm talking about?
No idea.
Oh, come on, you 1,000,000,000% see these kids, and you're like, why are these people famous?
Who?
let me.
Who's Rizzler and Scott?
Give me the next take, and I'll send you the Costco guys, and you're gonna see where you're gonna be like, "Oh,
you think I'm gonna be able to identify these people?"
AJ and Big Justice.
AJ and Big Justice, of course. Come on, are you nuts?
Don't even bother giving me the take anymore. I got it. It's in the chat.
All right, going to the chat. 2 people. Here it is.
The Costco guys from Boca Raton.
Brother, I have no idea who these guys are.
Yes, you have.
No, I've never seen these guys.
Why
would I know them?
Because they do the chicken bake versus they did all the TikTok videos where we're Costco guys. Of course we go and play with the inflatable balls in the hallway, or we're Costco guys. Of course we get 18 pounds of bread when we go to the store. We're Costco guys. Of course, I eat 3 chicken bakes during the
I
time.
think I've seen somebody's like what you're saying. They go, "We're married, of course we do this." I've seen
but it all
that.
spun off the Costco guys. The
I never
Costco
knew
guys
the
were
OG.
the genesis of all of that.
I'm
content.
legitimately surprised that after how long we've done this podcast, the conversation we have, you're surprised that I don't know who these people are.
Dude, they are everywhere. They're throwing out first pitches at baseball games. They're making music videos.
Is this like a dad and a son?
Yeah.
And these guys have made it by doing these videos?
Yes. The dad used to be like a
We're
pro
overthinking
wrestler.
it, Kyle. We're over here thinking we're watching hours and hours of film, trying to come up with nuanced takes about the National Football League, and we could just be doing this.
So the dad, AJ, Big Justice is the kid. AJ. I think that's right. The dad was a pro wrestler, and then like there's a video that came out from like 20 years ago where he was doing like a vlog. Like this guy's been trying to get famous for years.
And this was how he did it.
And it took like him and his kid going to Costco and making content. And now like they all have like logos, and they all have like the mom shows up and the daughter shows up, and the kid. You've seen the Rizzler. Let me get the Rizzler. I'm glad.
AI on Google is telling me that they also have a phrase that is "We bring the boom."
We bring the boom.
That's their signature song and catchphrase.
We bring the boom. That's what we do.
I don't know what's happening right now.
We bring the boom to you. Yeah, they have the. I don't even consume the content. I hate them. I'm like, these people need to go away. The Rizzler. I just sent the Rizzler.
All right, the Rizzler.
You've seen this kid.
All right, we'll see this Rizzler. Yeah, I think I've seen this. I've seen him on some memes. Yeah, I think I've seen that
he's
guy.
Only famous because he's friends with Big Justice.
I need to be friends with Big Justice. It sounds like
right.
All right, coming up next, we're talking about Super Bowl locations and a breakout tight end. Be sure to stick with us.
Bet you didn't have 18 minutes of the Costco guys on your bingo card for today's episode of Takes on Takes, did you?
Maybe I'll spend my Memorial Day catching up with Big AJ and Justice and Riz.
The Rizzler.
The Rizzler. Okay. All right. Michael says the Super Bowl should be played at the home stadium of the team with the better record rather than neutral sites.
I think for this to make sense, they have to change what the Super Bowl is about. Because
it's not about crowning a champion for the race.
Really, it's not. If you've never, and I've never been to a Super Bowl, but all the feedback that I got is it's this big corporate event, right? You have the whole week of media leading up to it, and the football game that happens is a piece of the pie of the Super Bowl. But there's a lot of other things that happen around the Super Bowl that I think you have to make a lot less of the emphasis of the experience, to justify playing it at a home stadium.
It's the only I did the inventory in my head. It's the only champion that is crowned
not on a home,
not at a home, at a regular stadium, right? NBA that happens somewhere else, like at the stadiums. NHL, Major League Baseball, those happen at their stadiums. The whole playoffs, they're decided at these regular stadiums. You go somewhere else for football, even in college. Well, yeah, it's all about money. So I think there's merit to what is being said here. And you want to talk about making sure you have competitive games all the way through the end of the season. Your team, like if you're the number 1 seed and that's locked up, but maybe not versus the other side, and you want to have the Super Bowl at home, you're playing all 18 games.
Yeah.
Or do you see that? I already said 18 games. I'm already calibrating myself for this.
It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
So yeah, but there's some cities, Green Bay, Buffalo, can't have the Super Bowl there. Like based on its current structure, there's not enough infrastructure for those things. So, all right, Sean, spicy here from Sean. Sean says Ben Sinnott will be a top 10 tight end by the end of the season in receptions per game.
I'm passing on this.
He had 5 catches last year.
Yeah, and I'm a big Ben Sinnott champion. They brought back Ertz. They have people to spread the ball around to. They're going to run the ball, and some of that's Jaden Daniels. Some of that's getting up under center and running the ball. I don't think the opportunity is going to be there unless Ertz goes down very early in the season.
It's connected to Ertz. They love Ertz. They're going to throw the ball to Ertz, and I think it's exciting whenever Sinnott has the opportunity. But as long as Ertz is there, I feel like Whether it's Cliff, whether it's Jaden Daniels, that's where the targets at tight end are going.
Yep.
He's dressed for all 17 games last year at 5 catches. Khalil's Real Football Talk says that 5th-round pick Chris Paul Jr. will lead the Rams in tackles this year.
No.
I'll
take the field.
Well, take the field. That's fine.
I'm pulling up their depth chart as we speak.
Omar Spates, Troy Reeder, Nate Landman, Cam Curl. I think it's unlikely.
That Paul does it?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably Spates, right?
That would be my guess. If you made me guess, I would say Spates.
Any chance Nate Landman does it?
Totally possible.
Sean Dolak.
If he...
I'll take Sean Dolak's the best rookie linebacker on the Rams roster.
Best coverage linebacker on the Rams roster, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'll pass. I'll Paul.
Michael says everyone gives credit to the Ravens front office when the draft ends, but people should be giving credit to John Harbaugh, who is the best player development coach in NFL history. He would be the top coach on the market if you were starting an NFL franchise. Some Ravens fans are done with this guy. Michael says it's the greatest developmental coach in the history of football.
I don't know that I agree with the greatest developmental coach. He would be, if you put all of the head coaches into a pool to draft, how high does John Harbaugh go?
I can tell you that I recently did my NFL head coach rankings, which we will do in
probably
a few
2 months.
Yeah, I had John Harbaugh at number 4. I think highly of him.
Still probably has another decade left, right?
Yeah. What I'll say though is the coaches ahead of him. Like, would you pick Andy? You wouldn't pick Andy Reid if you're going to start a team, right? There's an end finish line coming here, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the downside to Andy.
Yeah. Sean McVay would be high on my list of coaches that I'd want.
Sean's probably my one, and I think the Rams have a better recent track record of player development than the Ravens do.
I think they're both very good. I would have to really sort that out. But whenever he said Harbaugh's the best developmental coach in league history, my mind immediately went to Sean McVay. And certainly, I mean,
and that's just recent history, right? Like there's also obviously
there's so much to it. Yeah. All right, let's close with this one from Koala Bear Khan. The best dipping sauce is no longer ketchup, as if that was ever the consensus best dipping sauce, but ranch. It's the best sauce for finger foods, burgers, ribs, and even steak. Ketchup is simply the safer option with no high ceiling.
I don't really like ranch that much either.
What do you put ranch on anything?
Intermittently a salad.
I put ranch on a baked potato.
I'm sour cream on a baked potato.
Not me. That's what
you didn't have sour cream until like 3 years ago.
I know, but I did. I had tacos last night. I put sour cream on them by choice.
You like sour cream?
Yeah, I do like sour cream. I'm in on the sour cream.
Was it the name? Was that the big turnoff? The sour cream, and you're like, cream, sour, that doesn't sound appealing?
Yeah, I think so. And you eat with your eyes first, and it's like this bright, creamy white sauce. I hate mayonnaise,
Yeah.
Oh, not great there. But I'm not like a huge dipping sauce person. Like if you were getting chicken tenders, you're getting chicken tenders from, where's the best? I think Raising Cane's is the best.
Cane's has good chicken.
Yeah. I agree. So if you're getting those, what are you dipping them in? You can have anything in the world.
A good barbecue sauce.
I would go barbecue sauce as well.
Yeah.
You went on honey mustard. People are crazy about some honey mustard, man.
Honey mustard's good. Yeah, but I'm in on honey mustard. Yeah, sure.
What about Chick-fil-A sauce? Are you in on that?
No, not really.
Yeah, I think it's
too
super
tangy for me.
Not
personally.
A fan. Yeah, not a fan.
You know what I would take to finish with, since we're under 30 minutes right now. The worst condiment is relish. When's the last time you put relish on anything?
Never. Relish, especially if sweet relish is deplorable.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I want cucumbers. Put pickles on it.
Yeah, I think that's a great take. Just put regular pickles on there and get rid of that sweet nastiness out of there.
You just squeeze it out of a tube that's all like diced vegetables.
Get like weird, like goopy crap that also, you should.
It's all coagulated.
Yeah, I can't
horrible.
Can't do it. Can't.
All right, I'm glad we're ending on a high note here. Watch some Costco guys stuff this weekend.
What else can I possibly do?
Enjoy the Memorial Day weekend.
Get some bets in on FanDuel. That'll happen.
That's right. Yeah, the playoff games, lots of those. So
yep,
you'll be busy. I'll be busy, and we'll be back on Monday to talk about the New York Football Giants as we start the NFC East in our roster assessment series. I'm Kyle Crabbs. He's Joe Marino. We appreciate you guys as always for checking out the show. Make it a great rest of your day. We are out of here.